Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another NBA 2K rebuild. On NBA 2K22, we did the Pistons the very first game, or the very first year, so I am about to do another team. So, I asked you guys to comment. Nobody commented, so poor little me. Never mind. Besides that, I'm just going to randomly pick a team this time. If there's a team you guys really want to see me do, I'll do that team. I'm going to do all 30 NBA teams. So that is the goal this year. So closing my eyes, I'm moving the analog stick around, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, so this time I'll be doing the Los Angeles Clippers. Not a big Clippers fan in real life, but for this video, we'll be doing the Los Angeles Clippers. And I found out that the draft class thing is actually just a total glitch on 2K. So I'm gonna go with this CMTV plays, just because he has multiple years that I'll be able to use this. So the rookies will be a little bit more realistic. Besides that, let's look at our game plan this year. So we'll be doing it as if Kawhi didn't get hurt, because I never do these with injuries. Just to kind of show you guys like my settings that I use real quick. So yeah, I know all this stuff. Trade logic, all that stuff's fine. I just went to do the regular settings general. So the only thing I really don't play with is our injuries. So besides that, like everything else I use. So let me just make sure I turned injuries off. Yep, I did. Okay, save settings. No, don't want to do that this time. All right, so yeah, I'm the Clippers. I'm kind of in a win now mode. This team is going to be pretty bad, I think, within the next few years, especially if they don't get it done soon. But we're doing this rebuild as if Kawhi never got hurt. So we kind of have to figure out exactly what our rotation is going to be. I'd like to play Keon Johnson minutes. I'd probably am going to play him over a guy like Bledsoe, to be honest. I want Terrence Mann to play. I'm going to see if I can try to maybe move Bledsoe in the off season. I don't need too many minutes here. Reggie Jackson, I've watched him play for Detroit for years, so I don't know where that year came from last year, but he actually played really, really well, which is actually kind of surprising to me. Luke Kennard, also a Piston, would like to see him play more. So yeah, this team's pretty deep. I'd like to actually see more minutes of Terrence Mann, so I'm going to limit the minutes here, and I'm going to boost Terrence Mann more. I'd like to see him play. I think he's actually a long-term player for this team. Kennard, I hate the contract that he's on, but I don't mind the player. And then besides that, Keon Johnson will just get better from being on this team. Let's see, coaching. Sorry, I meant to do coach system proficiencies. Active systems, defense. Oops. I'm fucking this all up at the beginning of this video. Sorry. Just wanted to see which one would be best. Perimeter centric, no. Triangle, no. 7 seconds, no. Defense. We'll go with balance because it's the coach's preference. Yeah. But this team could look drastically different after a year. Kawhi signed that long-term extension, so he's going to be here. So we'll see you guys at kind of the trade deadline. If the team's underperforming, might change some things around. If not, then I'll probably just go with it. Malik Beasley. I'm going to also turn off the CPU trades because I don't really need them. But Clippers are in a tough spot. They have hardly any of their draft picks. They traded a lot of them to get Paul George, which also allowed them to get Kawhi Leonard, which is absolutely worth it to me. But after Kawhi kind of locked himself up for a long-term contract now, I think it's kind of more worth it. I'm going to return this guy to the G League. No need for him to be on the roster. Rather have a guy like Brandon Boston in there anyway. So we're kind of underperforming this year so far. Really underperforming. We're 10th in the power rankings partway through the season. I will see you guys kind of at the trade deadline. Kind of just talk through a couple of things, but we'll see at the trade deadline. I might actually be trading a lot of players, so we'll see what exactly happens. See you guys then. So we're picking back up here kind of on January 21st. As you can see, we are 25 and 21, so we're a little bit above 500, but If you kind of look here at my contracts, kind of want to show you guys finances, salary cap breakdown. Yeah, so you can see Bledsoe, we're going to get rid of him after this year, so that doesn't really matter. Ibaka will be gone after this year. The only contracts that I absolutely hate right now are kind of Kennard's and also Marcus Morris Jr. I'm wondering if I could do anything to kind of move away from those contracts. Like, the team is actually performing quite well. Um, but besides that, like, they want less minutes in their season, which I get. I'd like to make an upgrade at point guard somehow. Um, but besides that, I might just actually play out this first year. Happy I stopped, but I'm going to play out the first year. Kennard, I'm going to get rid of Kennard right now. That's about the only move I'm going to make. Batum, I actually want to play Keon Johnson. So I'm going to give Keon Johnson some minutes. I'm going to get rid of Bledsoe's minutes. And yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll give the minutes for now to Kennard, but I'm about to trade Kennard. See what we can get for him. Basically just trying to get off a salary at this point. I would take Taco. I would also take this 1 year of Plumlee. I don't want to give up that second rounder, though. Seeing if there's anything of actual value to get here. Hamid Diallo from the Pistons. I would never do that to my Pistons like that. I'd actually really like Larry Nance on this team. I give up a second. Much favorable, a lot better contract. Definitely not taking on Bertan's crappy contract. I'm actually going to take up Taco just to get rid of Luke Kennard. Marcus Morris might be in my future plans to get rid of somebody, but for now, I'm going to rock with Reggie for the rest of the year. I'm going to rock with this lineup. I'm going to stick Keon Johnson into the lineup over Justice Winslow. I like Keon Johnson. I liked him in college, and I like him now, so I'm actually going to stick him in there over. But besides that, this will be the lineup for the rest of the year. We're going to go Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Kennard. Zubac's getting a lot of minutes as well. Zubats might be a long-term answer because we are going to let probably Serge Ibaka walk after this year. He's a little bit older. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year. I don't plan on stopping. That was kind of my big move, is to get rid of that crappy Luke Kennard contract. So I'll see you guys then. So we kind of on a little bit of a losing streak to end the season. We get a Giannis MVP again, Mobley Rookie of the Year, Drummond Sixth Man, which has been really common. I don't see that happening in real life. And I could see a big Wendell Carter year. And then Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year for the Philadelphia 76ers. Not our coach anymore. We got rid of him for Ty Lue. Westbrook makes second team. LeBron makes second team. Do we see any of our guys? We don't see a Kawhi. We also do not see a Paul George. We'll probably see them on the defensive team. Paul George at a 90 and Kawhi at a 96 second team. And do we get anybody? I was hoping maybe we get Keon, but he didn't make it. We made it in as the fifth seed. We have a rematch of the Western Conference Finals right here. Let's just check out the season stats. Paul George actually leading the team in scoring. Really impressive. Shot over 50%. Over 40 from three. So awesome year for Paul George. Good year from Kawhi. Serge with a nice year. Zubats, Jackson, Morris. Let's see Keon's numbers for. This team's going to look drastically different next year, so be prepared for that. But for now, that's kind of what we did. We played the Phoenix Suns. Let's see if they made any big changes to their roster since last year. They added Rashawn Holmes, nice add for a backup big, which they desperately needed, and then no backup guards off the bench. They have Saric, Kaminsky, JaVale McGee, then Cameron Payne. So they lack some wing depth, but let's see what we can do. We'll simulate the play-in. All right, and then let's simulate through our rounds, see if we can get out of the first round, and we lose in 7 to the Phoenix Suns. So first year, not really a success. Now that we're in an actual offseason, there's going to be a lot of things that I change with this team. So Philadelphia 76ers win the NBA Finals in our first year, and I'll see you guys in year 2 with a bunch of changes. So we're picking back up at the new season, just signed a bunch of guys to our staff, actually. I don't believe we have a pick in this draft, but this is also a very good chance for me to get rid of some players. So the first move that I'm going to be making is trying to get rid of this Marcus Morris / Reggie Jackson contract. No offense to Marcus Morris Sr., just don't love the fit on this team. Going to see what I can get rid of for him. Marcus Smart, I actually don't hate that. Not a bad idea. Larry Nance in a second. get off of a lot of money there. That is a possibility as well. I do like Buddy Hield on this team. Could bring him off the bench to be a good shooter. A little bit more money for him. Bogdanovich is on a 1-year deal. Caruso, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Terrence Ross, Dwight Powell, Cam Thomas, Duncan Robinson, actually. Not too bad. Kelly Olynyk on a 1-year deal from the Pistons. I don't hate either. And then, boom, this is our deal that we're going to take, is we were going to pick up Gary Trent Jr. over Marcus Morris. So kind of getting rid of him. Our second move that we're going to make is, I don't know what our picks look like. We actually only have the 22nd pick. So we're going to package the 22nd pick and then hopefully Reggie Jackson for something a little bit more enticing. I really like that Lauri Markkanen, but I'm not going to do it. I'll hang on to Reggie Jackson for now. Don't really have a power forward heading into this year. Let's sim to the pick and see if we can get anything there. We might actually pick up this guy because he could play power forward for us. So I'm going to sim to the end of this draft. Let's see, just kind of chat. Where did the Pistons get the pick? They took Caleb Houston out of Michigan. Yeah, we'll pick him up. All right, let's move on to team player options. We're going to bring back Zubats. I do like Zubats. He'll be back. And we're also going to bring back Terrence Mann on an absolutely killer contract. Our starting center and Trey Mann. So we're not bringing back Bledsoe. We're not bringing back Batum. Jay Scrubb got worse for me sending him to the G League. So sorry about that. But he's not coming back either. Qualifying offers, not really anybody. Let's see who we owe contracts this year. Serge Ibaka and Nicholas Batum. I don't know if we're going to bring them back or not. We have negative $22 million in cap room, though. So it's not like we have a whole lot of choices. We're going to get rid of Serge. We're going to get here. We're going to get rid of Kennard. We're going to keep his cap hold for the trade. Actually, we don't really need that trade exception. So not really much we can do at this point. We got negative $22 million. But when we come back to the first day of free agency, still got negative $22 million. So going to have to make some things work. I'm not going to be picking up any of these G League guys. It's kind of cheating a little bit. Don't like that. As far as power forwards, I wouldn't mind Ariza. It's not a bad play. Not bringing back Myers Leonard or bringing in Myers Leonard. That's a bad idea. I do like Bielitsa. I think he'll be able to spread the floor for us, and he's on a very low deal. Let's just bring him in. This might be a little bit more difficult of a rebuild than I thought. We kind of have a lot of young players now that we're rolling with. I like Gary Trent in the lineup. Kawhi and Paul George. Oh, no. Reggie. Oh, God. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. Okay. Yep, it might be. I didn't think it'd be that time. I thought I was going to try to do this rebuild centered around Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but they are getting bad quickly. They're getting very bad very quick, and we do not have very many of our picks. So, let's look at the roster. Kawhi, Paul George progressively getting worse. It might be time to move on and to rebuild this team completely. Could be blow it up time. So let's at least start with a mini blow it up move. Let's. You guys are really going to see me have to pull some magic on this one to even make this team competent. Let's start with Reggie Jackson. Let's get rid of Reggie Jackson. So I'm actually going to trade for PJ Washington, getting rid of a second round pick, but I'll add my trade exception and I'll make that work, bringing in PJ. Next move. I know 2K kind of makes it a little bit easier to trade your superstars, but I'm going to try to get rid of Paul George. I know he has really diminished value right now. All right, I think the trade that makes the most amount of sense is to bring in a young Jamal Murray to be this new face of the franchise. I'm going to be losing Terrence Mann too, but this rebuild is completely just like blowing up in my face. So just even look at what this lineup would look like right now. Let's rebuild it. Kind of our revamped lineup would be Jamal Murray, Gary Trent, Kawhi Leonard, PJ Washington, Zubats, Monte Morris. Can I keep on playing Keon Johnson? I think he has promise. Justice Winslow, Markieff Morris, you're not getting minutes. If anybody's going to play, it's going to be our rookie, Jason Preston from Ohio. This team's going to be bad. We have hardly any picks. If we're doing really, really bad by the halfway part of the season, you'll see me trade Kawhi Leonard. All right. See you guys then. So, as you guys can see, we are currently the worst team in the entire NBA. So that's not good. Not good at all. I really expected like Gary Trent to step up maybe a little bit more. Like he progressed really well in the last 2K. Maybe it's just not it in this one because you can't really make their potentials better. So I hate moving on from Kawhi knowing that he's an all-generational talent. But that's kind of the road that I feel like I'm at right now. I wouldn't trade him for anybody who's old. It'd be a young player who I feel promise in. D-Book and Murray flip Chris Paul. So this is the trade I'm going to go with. I'm going to flip Kawhi for Chris Paul and D-Book. I don't like the Chris Paul contract. Absolutely not. Let's see what they'd have me even do. Yeah, see, they have me playing Chris Paul over Murray. That's just not going to happen. Sorry, Chris, you're a little just too old for me. Let's just have it rebuild because I'm just completely revamping this entire team. Just stick with me as Chris Paul cannot be traded within 60 days. Oh, I have that rule on. Fuck. We got no firsts. Our first this year is currently at the Thunder. If I even wanted to trade for it, what would I have to give up to the Thunder to get this pick back? All right, well, this year is a total bust. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. We're not making the playoffs. So we basically improved from going from the 15th seed to the 14th seed. Luka, Chet, Yusuf Nurkic. I don't know how the sixth man of the year wasn't Jamal Murray. Maybe he definitely didn't classify because he played first team most of the year. LeBron, AD, Russ. That'd be awesome to see. Jaren, who I could have possibly traded for. Maybe I should have done the Jaren trade over Book. But, yeah, we're not going to make the playoffs this year. Just to kind of show you guys our stats. They're not probably going to be good. Booker, Murray, Chris Paul, Trent, Zubats, Morris. Yeah, bad team. Real bad team. More possession from Keon Johnson would be nice. All right, let's go to the end of this year. Going to be trading Chris Paul. Want to pick up a pick for it, possibly in this year's draft. This is the Imani Bates draft. So I will see you guys at draft lottery, even though I know I don't have my own pick. So yeah, as you guys can see here, the Thunder got my pick. So we were supposed to have the second pick in this draft. I don't even know how we're going to get it back, but that's what our goal is right now, is going to be try to get that pick back. So we're here trying to get this pick back. As we go to our team, we currently have, nobody on roster, basically. I have Jamal and Devin Booker, which I like together, but I was going to try to use the Chris Paul contract to get this pick, which I now know that I can't do. Yeah, I wanted to get my actual pick, which was the Clippers, but it's probably going to ask for like Booker. Yeah, it's going to ask for Booker. It'd give me Gordon Hayward. So I'm not going to be able to rebuild through this draft. They have basically no draft capital. So this is basically what a post Kawhi Leonard destroyed team looks like. The Clippers have a second rounder, so I'm going to take a prospect in the second round. I'm going to take the absolutely best available player, which is Stevie McGee, who I've never heard of in my entire life. But I'm not going to waste my time with this second round pick. So I would have had Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, so that's tough, knowing that I could have gotten one of the best players. Going to take Stevie McGee. Not going to pick up Norm. I actually had the 15th pick in this draft, so I got their pick. So I get Stevie McGee. Nice. So it actually wasn't that much of a reach. Gary Trent declined his player option, which is tough. I'm not going to bring back Jason Preston. Not going to bring back Banner Boston Jr. The only person I'm bringing back is going to be Keon Johnson. Okay. Qualifying offers. Nope. LeBron basically can afford about a $34 million signing right now. Could try to sign Vucevic. I could make a stretch for Chris Middleton. Porzingis. Yeah. Don't know exactly what my moves are going to be here. This team's kind of in the shithole. I might just make a team around these guys. I'm going to bring in Chris Middleton to play the 3. I have absolutely nobody. I'm basically going to have to renounce the rights on every single player to make that happen. I can bring in Middleton and have a big 3 of Murray, Middleton. I'm going to bring in Chris Middleton to play the 3. I have absolutely nobody. I'm basically going to have to renounce the rights on every single player to make that happen. I can bring in Middleton and have a big 3 of Murray, Middleton. Could bring a big 3 and have a Murray, Middleton, big 3. Yep, so I'm going to bring in Middleton. Gary Trent and Brook Lopez coming back. 7 players on this roster right now. Maybe I'll play Torrey Craig at the 4. I've seen it done before. And then I need another guy. Why not Tony Snell? So I'm going to sign both these guys, and then I'm going to kind of be done. And then I'll see you guys real quick at player progression. Let's see what our team is at. Brook Lopez getting significantly worse. Besides that, we got Booker. We've got like a decent team now. I think I flipped this thing around a little bit, but not by much. The fact that you don't have any training camps this game makes it really hard to progress these like super young players who are kind of like on the fringe of either being very, very good or not being that great. Murray, Booker, Middleton, Wayne Gabriel, Jesus, Brook Lopez. So I don't mind this 3 off the bench. Need a big. Cassius Winston. They've done my man so dirty with a face scan. 1 year's pro. Like, okay. They did my man real dirty. I brought in Tony Snell. He'll get minutes. Torrey Craig will get minutes. Fuck, dude. My idea was to play... How tall is Middleton? 6'7". I need a true power forward. Okay. What can I do? Could I package some stuff to make this work? Like, could I get rid of my pick who's a draft and stash? I don't know. He might actually be good. Can I trade Torrey? Okay, so I'm going to simulate a little way into the season, and then I'm going to make some moves because a lot of guys have restrictions on them. So I'll see you then. We started off the season really strong. We were high in the power rankings, had a lot of wins, and now we have fallen our way all the way to 12th. Not a huge difference between the playoff teams and us, so we can see if we can change that. For the team, we're keeping our big 3 guys, of course. We're going to keep Trent. We're going to keep Morris. We're going to keep Keon Johnson. Besides that, anyone else is up for grabs. So need to vastly improve in a couple of places. First, or I'm going to go Chuma Okeke in a young prospect. I'm going to go Chuma Okeke out of Auburn. And we're going to bring him in. All right, well, we couldn't really make a move happen. I'm going to have the CPU rebuild this rotation. So we're going to slide Chuma Okeke in at this shooting or at this power forward. Yeah, we're going to keep the rotation at 9 instead of 10. And we'll just give a couple more minutes to Chuma because I think he's good. So I'm going to give a couple more minutes to Okeke. Yeah, I don't hate this team. Tony Snell is pretty bad. I don't hate the 3 off the bench. So yeah, I'm trying here. This is my best attempt at this rebuild. So next year will be my last year. So let's see what we are at the end of the year. we just did something a little random and a little crazy, but let me know what you guys think here in a couple of seconds. Have rebuild, and boom. I actually picked up Ben Simmons to play point guard. Traded Jamal Murray. Traded our 28 first rounder that we don't even need to pick up Simmons because we need the defense. So we're going to bring in Simmons, Booker, Middleton. We have two guys who can score, so might as well bring him in. Chuma Okeke can spread the floor. Willie Hernangomez, we got good bench pieces. This might be the year we actually do it. I'll see if I need to make one more move at the trade deadline. I'll see you guys there. Not much we can do. 10 seed. We're so close to possibly making the playoffs. I'm going to try to package a few of the bench guys that I signed over free agency, possibly any other picks that we possibly have. Okay. We're good with Booker. We're going to keep Middleton. We're keeping Simmons, keeping Gary Trent Jr., keeping Keon Johnson. Could maybe probably try to package like these two guys together, see if I get like an ultimate center. Bridges, Mahomes, Emmanuel quickly off the bench with Terrence Mann. Yep. Okay. One move there. Not done making moves. Okay. I'm going to go actually with a little bit of a weirder one, but I'm going to go Bridges and Rashawn Holmes. Okay. Weird move. We're trying so hard this season to make this work. Okay. Game plan for the final end of this season. We're going to go Simmons, Booker, Middleton, Bridges, Holmes off the bench, quickly Trent, Okeke, Terrence Mann. We're going to go with a 10-man. We're going to go with a 9-man rotation, not 10. So, sorry, Serge. We're going to give a couple more minutes here, a couple more minutes here, a couple more minutes here, a couple more minutes to Bridges. Okay. This is it. This is whether we make it or not. Quickly, sorry, more minutes to Simmons. This is us trying to make the playoffs for even the first time since the start of this video. The very first season I made the playoffs. Since then, I haven't made it. I'll see you guys if I make the playoffs, because I think I'm not going to do the deadline extension. I think that if we make the playoffs, this team can go far. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year. Okay, I held my breath. We almost choked it. We get in as the 6th seed. We stay out of the play-in. Killian Hayes, I don't like him not in a Pistons jersey. Well, we won't see anybody here. Cade's still in a Pistons jersey, though, right? Yeah, okay. Besides this, nothing really else matters. Bronny James, whatever. All right, we make the playoffs for the first time since the very first season. It only took me 3 whole years to turn this team around, but we have Booker, Quickly, Gary Trent, Chris Middleton, Ben Simmons, Bridges, Rashawn Holmes, Chuma Okeke, Terrence Mann. 9-man rotation that will be running for the rest of the year for as long as I play. All right. 9 guys, Man, Chuma. Not much big man depth, but okay. Let's freaking do this thing. We play the Houston Rockets, who have Jalen Hardy, Jalen Green, Keldon Johnson, Pascal Siakam, Sengun, Malik Beasley. Okay, this is going to be a close series. I kind of like our odds. We'll simulate the play-in. We'll go by the rounds. Oh, God damn it. What the? Pelicans win, Zion, rookie. Oh, what were the playoff stats? Booker. Damn it, man. In 4 games. Game 6. I don't know. We tried. What the hell? Whatever. All right. That will basically wrap it up for this rebuild. We rebuilt the Clippers. We only made the playoffs twice in 4 years. So the hardest part by far about this rebuild is the lack of picks that they have. Like, this was my team by the end. Booker, Middleton. Like, there is not going to be a single guy, except for Terrence Mann, who we traded and came back, who was on that original roster that's still here, and Ibaka, who we signed later. But no guy that we traded for. We had to trade for all this stuff. We signed Chris Middleton. We did all this, brought in better defense. Nothing really made a difference. Like, this team is cursed. The Clippers are bad, and them trading away all those picks to get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you better win one within the next 2 years, or this franchise is going to be destroyed for the next 10. Comment down below which NBA team you want me to see rebuild next. Still haven't won a championship yet. Hopefully we can change that next time. Peace.